Inside every single living thing on this planet, from the tiniest microbe to the biggest blue whale, there is a secret code. It's a language that literally writes the instruction manual for life itself. So, in this explainer, we're going to crack that code and get to know the molecules that make us who we are.
So, what is this secret language, really? What is this molecular script that tells a cell whether it's supposed to become part of a plant's leaf, a bird's feather, or, your own heart?
Well, the answer is nucleic acids. These are just incredible biological molecules that carry all of life's information. And the two big players here, the ones you've definitely heard of, are DNA and its essential partner in crime, RNA. Okay, but before we can read the book, we've got to learn the alphabet, right? So let's start with the absolute basics, the building blocks that make up these long chains of instructions.
And that single letter, our basic building block, is called a nucleotide. Seriously, think of it like one single Lego brick. By itself, it's not much. But when you start linking millions of them together in a very specific order, you can build something unbelievably complex.
And here's the cool part. Every single one of these nucleotide bricks is made from the exact same three pieces. You start with a sugar molecule, you stick on something called a nitrogenous base, and then you attach a phosphate group. That's it. It's always the same recipe: sugar, base, phosphate.
All right, let's break down that recipe, starting with the sugar. There are two kinds, and the difference between them seems tiny, but trust me, it's a huge deal. RNA uses a sugar called ribose. DNA, on the other hand, uses deoxyribose. And the name kind of gives it away, right? Deoxy just means it's missing one oxygen atom. This tiny chemical tweak actually makes DNA way more stable, which is exactly what you want for a molecule that's got to store life's most important secrets for a very, very long time.
Okay, part two of our recipe, the nitrogenous bases. Now, if the sugar and the phosphate are like the paper and the binding of a book, these bases, they're the actual letters. The A's, the T's, the G's, the C's. This is where the real information is actually written down.
So these letters come in a couple of different shapes. You've got the purines, adenine and guanine, which are a bit bigger, and then the pyrimidines, cytosine, thymine, and uracil, which are smaller. But here's the catch, and it's a really important one. DNA and RNA don't use the exact same alphabet. They both use A, G, and C, but DNA uses a letter called thymine, or T. RNA swaps that T out for a different letter, uracil, or U. It's a super simple swap to remember. T belongs to DNA, and U takes its place in RNA. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the phosphate group. Its job is, well, pretty straightforward, but it's absolutely vital. It's basically the glue. It's the linker that connects the sugar of one nucleotide to the phosphate of the next, forming this super strong continuous chain. We call it the sugar-phosphate backbone. All right, so we've learned the alphabet. Now let's crack open the first book, DNA. The best way to think about DNA is as the master blueprint for a living thing. It is the original, secure, complete set of instructions for everything. And this blueprint isn't just written on flimsy paper. It's got some amazing security features. It stores all that information in its famous double helix shape. And get this is mind-blowing. If you uncoiled all the DNA in just one of your cells, it would stretch out to be about 2 meters long. Isn't that wild? The two strands of this helix run in opposite directions, kind of like traffic on a two-way street. This whole structure is incredibly stable and protected, making it the perfect, ultra-secure vault for life's code. So how do those two strands actually stick together to form the ladder? Well, they follow one simple golden rule. It's non-negotiable. Adenine, or A, will always pair up with thymine, T, and guanine, G, will always pair up with cytosine, C. It's not random at all. It's like a perfect lock and key system. And this beautiful, simple rule, that's the secret to how DNA can copy itself almost perfectly, over and over again. The ladder analogy really is the best way to picture it. So imagine that super strong sugar phosphate backbone we talked about. Those are the sides of the ladder, providing all the strength. And the base pairs, A with T and G with C, those are the rungs of the ladder, holding the two sides together. And, most importantly, protecting the precious genetic code tucked away safely in the middle. Okay, so that's DNA, the master plan. But what about RNA? Right, so if DNA is the master blueprint that you keep locked in a safe in the main office, RNA is like the photocopy you take out to the job site to actually get the work done. So let's do a quick head-to-head, DNA versus RNA, to see what makes them perfect for their different jobs. Okay, we know the sugar is different, deoxyribose for DNA, ribose for RNA. We know the bases are different.
DNA has thymine, RNA has uracil. And a huge difference is the structure. DNA is that stable double helix, while RNA is usually a more flexible single strand. It all comes down to their jobs. DNA is built for the long haul, for storage. RNA is built for action, for getting things done right now. And get this, RNA isn't just one guy. It's a whole crew, a team of specialists, each with a specific job. First up, you've got messenger RNA, or mRNA. It's the courier, carrying the copied instructions from the DNA. Then you have transfer RNA, or tRNA. Think of this one as the delivery truck, bringing all the building materials, in this case, amino acids. And finally, there's ribosomal RNA, rRNA. This stuff actually helps form the factory itself, the ribosome, where the real construction happens. Okay, so let's put it all together now. We've got the master blueprint, DNA. We've got the construction crew, RNA. How do we go from this static code, this blueprint, to, well, to us, to a living, dynamic organism? It all follows this really elegant one-way flow of information. It's beautiful, really. Step 1, DNA just chills, storing and protecting all that precious info. Step 2, a copy of the needed instructions gets made onto a messenger RNA molecule. This process is called transcription. And step 3, that RNA copy travels out and acts as the guide to build proteins, and proteins are the little machines that do pretty much everything in our cells. So look, if there's one thing you take away from all of this, it has to be this simple idea. DNA is the master blueprint. It's the untouchable original, kept safe and sound. And RNA is the hard-working copy that takes those plans and actually builds the house. It's this incredible partnership that directs, well, everything about life. Which kind of makes you wonder, right? With a code so simple yet so powerful, what other secrets is it still holding?